WrestleMania Weekend has officially begun. NXT Stand and Deliver. We just went off the air with it with 7 tremendous matches from the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. It is time to break it all down. Plus, we got Kev Kellum live from Dallas with some stories to tell of the week so far in Dallas. So here we go.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
Yeah! What is up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. This is your NXT Stand and Deliver post show. Hard to say takeover, not to say takeover, but I am your host, Jeremy Bennett. Find me on the Twitter at JB Huskers. With me here from True Heel Heat, from Believe in Pro Wrestling, from Smack Talk on Fridays. And he is your new and undisputed Sportskeeda Trivia Federation champion. It is Mr. Sid, SP3. Sid, how you doing, man?
I am doing well, people. It is WrestleMania week. I am on like 3 hours of sleep through to all the wrestling I've been having to watch and catch up on. I just completed Thursday. I still making my way through all the shows from Friday. I had to watch Stand and Deliver for this show. And overall, it was a decent show. That's the best thing I could say after that finish to the main event.
We'll get into that and more. Obviously, a lot to break down with tonight. Before we get to that card here, let's bring in our very own Kev Kellum. What? 1 beer. 2
that's a lot of beer. That's a lot of beer. Oh, hell yeah! Coming to you live from Arlington, Texas, right between Global Life Field and Choctaw Stadium. We are live. We got so much going right now on our socials. If you don't follow us on the Twitter, you follow us on the Twitter, SK Wrestling _. You follow us on the Instagram, the Snappy Chat. Are we on TikTok? Do we have a MySpace? If we do, it's going to be popping right now. Ton of content right now. I am right outside of Texas Live, where the Busted Open Roast is going on with SiriusXM, which is pretty sweet. Shout out to them and the accommodations. It has been a wild week. I got to catch some of NXT Stand and Deliver. You guys got to see all of it. How fun was it to see NXT outside of the...
I think Kev stopped to get another beer. Oh, there
you got me, fellas?
Finish that.
Here we go. You got me, fellas?
Yeah. How fun was it for...
how cool was it to see NXT in front of live... And to see NXT on television in front of many more live fans than they've been in front of in a while.
Yeah, I think it was good. It took a while for people to fill in at first, especially with the tag match and the kickoff show. But it's a noon start time. This is like noon. You know what I mean? That's an early day for a wrestling show, any wrestling show. You know? Go ahead. It ended up being a pretty full arena, at least on the hard camera side, and a very enthusiastic crowd. A lot of people popping for a lot of things.
I can tell you from talking to people that attended the show, they did not top the lower bowl, but they did the bottom bowl. It's a basketball stadium, so it's deceptively smaller than it looks. So it's kind of it has kind of like a balcony feel. They filled out the entire lower bowl, so you're talking about 11 to 12,000 people that have seen NXT. It's a lot more people than have seen NXT live in almost 2.5 years with the pandemic. This is something that NXT needed last year, and they're getting this year. In terms of a live event, a big marketing feel for people that came for just the WWE stuff. They were dipping their toe in NXT again, and this is something the brand needed. Whether or not the show, I think, was better than a takeover, they needed to be in an arena. They needed to be out of Florida.
Yeah, I was surprised they ran an arena that big, but it worked, didn't it, Sid?
Yeah, it gave it a different type of feel. I like the fact that they put the glass guardrails that are, prominent at the CWC, so you still had the NXT feel. They had the commentary table in the same spot that they do at CWC, so it was very different, and it was like a barometer of where the new stars of NXT 2.0 was at with their reception from the crowd.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, Kev Kellum and Jose with some great interviews during WrestleMania week during the scrum. Some interviews with Becky Lynch, Sammy's. I believe. Did you get Sami Zayn too?
I did get Sami Zayn. Those will all be dropping like the weekend around WrestleMania shows. The thing you want to watch when you don't want to watch a match, check out one of our interviews. You want to prep yourself for the show. I have a really great conversation coming with Sami Zayn. I know everything with him is outlandish and over the top, but he gives me the sense of why he stayed with WWE. Because he's doing things that no one else is doing. Things he wants to do in the future, that's coming. A conversation with AJ Styles where he expresses the pressure of having to be AJ Styles at WrestleMania is a different type of pressure. Those are coming. Right now, a conversation with Becky Lynch that if you are a Becky Lynch fan, you need to see this. It is one of the most ridiculously entertaining conversations I have ever had with an entertainer. I've been around music and bands and comedians for half of my adult life, and she is electric, absolutely electric to talk to in person. I'm not marking out, I'm talking it up, all right? This is a star. She carries herself like a star. There was another female WWE superstar that was supposed to be there at the press junket. We didn't get her. Things happen, schedules change, stuff happens. And we got Becky Lynch, and she delivered. You have to see it. You have to see it. If you're a Becky Lynch fan, this will get you jacked up for her match with EST.
Yeah, I checked out that interview just prior to Stand and Deliver. She did a tremendous job. A lot of fun with her.
A lot of teases. A lot of teases in there. Did you see those teases she dropped in there?
Yeah.
All right, exactly. Some teases in there. And those teases were not about her. They were about Seth Rollins. But, I mean, how about last night? I know SmackDown. When has SmackDown ever been the pre-show for people just talking in a ring? But it was a pre-show for people talking in a ring last night, right, fellas?
It was a speech, an induction speech that you're never going to see replicated. It was unique, and it was just, I thought it was absolutely tremendous.
We're talking about Chad's wife, because that was the speech that got me. I was crying. I know. I've been able to be friends and like get to know Chad before he passed away in 2019, and that was the speech that got me. I mean, the Undertaker speech just felt too much like a televangelist. You know my feelings on the Undertaker, so that's just me. But the Chad speech, that was one of the most emotional speeches I've seen.
Sid, you'll appreciate this. Being in the room, not a dry eye in the house. When Chad's family came out there, JTG with a great little kiss off to him when they did their signature pose. I thought that was great. WWE doing a tremendous job. Also talking to people involved in production. The families of everyone involved were treated tremendously well. I also think this is a great setup for a Hall of Fame. Having people do their induction speeches in the ring was an awkward thing before. This year, I really think they figured it out. Putting everyone on the stage, using the ring as we know it with the hard cam, some production things. I was in the 100 level, so I'm facing the way that they would to the hard cam. The way this was done really, really well. Great speeches as well by the Steiners. I thought the Steiners were very, very funny. I thought Rick going at Scotty saying, "Look at you taking up all my ring time again." I thought that was a great note. Queen Sharmell with a very eloquent, graceful speech. She should run for public office. I would vote for her. That woman looks like she's going to say something I want to hear and I want to see. I thought that was absolutely wonderful and a very loving moment with her and Booker T. And Chad's speech was great. Yeah. I know your differences with the Undertaker. But as someone who grew up with this guy, he is without a shadow of a doubt one of the top 5 of all time. All right. Did it have a televangelist vibe because he had like the headset on? I can tell you from talking to people near production, there was a reason for the headset. There was a reason for that to make sure everything flowed and knew where he was and know what's going on. I can't confirm that, but I've had people tell me that. And I can tell you, being there live, I don't care how marky this sounds. And the guy's name is Mark, but that was one of the greatest nights I've ever had watching professional wrestling, and it wasn't anyone hitting themselves or being slammed. This was a guy who laid out the psychology of someone who comes into pro wrestling with doubts about who they are and becomes exactly what they are. It was very good writing for him. He rehearsed this. As someone who's done stand-up comedy, I can tell you he went through that a handful of times, but then also stepped outside of it and improvised and added different jokes and brought people in. If this is the last time we get to see him as a performer, we'll get to that. It was wonderful. No one in that arena left, no one in that arena didn't come for anything else. The number one, if they came for everything else, it was the fun, right? The number one thing was The Undertaker. He sold out 19,000 seats to say goodbye. He sold out 19,000 seats in his goodbye. Not his last match, his just goodbye. That was really well done. This is the bar now for Hall of Fame stuff in terms of entertainment, in terms of speeches, in terms of stars. I do think this is the problem where you have one of those great things. How do you top this with a Hall of Fame in the future? It's going to be very, very hard. For me, this is extremely satisfying. To me, being here live, that was my main event for the weekend. As a fan, it made me really, really happy. As someone who covers the sport, it felt like a special moment to see a guy who's been such a big draw have his send-off. That was truly his send-off. Or a really cool angle at the end where he simply just put on the jacket and said, "Never say never." One of the biggest pops I've ever heard from someone just saying a word. And he took that pause because he knows timing and compelling things matter. And he pulled him right in one more time, put that hat on, and walked out. I thought it was really, really touching and cool. I know people have different opinions of him. You mentioned Sid with the politics, but a man, his accomplishment, his work, the people, the friends he made along the way, it was eloquent and graceful and touching. Even if you don't agree with all the man's politics, it was very, very touching for him to have that moment with his family and his friends. Great moment. WWE can do some bad things, but last night they did a really, really special thing with him and with Shad's family. It was great. If you're a diehard WWE follower, that's a fun love letter to see. For sure.
Yeah. I mean, you could just see, going back to Shad, just how strong his son is today. Just how strong he is to stand up in that moment and be composed. And man, it was truly so emotional, just going through that whole thing. And his wife's speech was just, I thought everything was done just perfectly in terms of honoring Shad.
Also, credit to WWE's writing staff. That's a big assignment for the writing staff to jump on, to come in with those families and help everyone get something in there, to come in with the superstars. I know everyone thinks, oh, the superstars write everything themselves. The families do. The writers really help with something like that. When they're inducting, when Vader's family came out, that was very much a WWE thing where they come in and say, all right, we want to help you have this moment and develop something. Like building a new Mastodon mask and making sure they have outfits and all those different things. This is me talking to people at the arena. WWE went full tilt to give that family something special for Vader, something special for Shad. I love those little things. And it was, people can say WWE is a mean company and this and that, but when they do something and they put a full force in it and they produce it, it was really, really cool. The golden ropes, I like that. I thought that was a nice little touch.
Yeah.
Everything had a nice little touch to it. Seeing the guys on the stage pop for the jokes. Randy Orton bowing down to Queen Sharmell. You know, when Undertaker came out with the fog, we all marked. We were like, oh, they gave him the fog. That's really, really cool. And I joked, is that just Randy Orton's vape? Is that all Randy Orton's vape out there? Him just chilling in the front row, vaping, and he just blew a puff cloud for the Undertaker. But just a lot of fun. I'll let you guys cover NXT. Such a long weekend. As you guys can tell, my voice is feeling it. But we're going to have a hell of a time. 2 post shows from Cowboy Stadium. You get to see it live and in full color from the destination of all things pro wrestling and WWE, Sportskeeda. You guys say enjoy wrestling. I won't do the enjoy wrestling thing. I can't step on the sign off. All right.
Thanks,
hey, also shout out to our incredible team back in India, our video editors, our ground base. You guys running everything. I'm so appreciative of you guys. God bless you. All right.
All right, Kev. We'll see you later tonight, man.
I'll drink a couple for you. Just a couple. What?
All right, Kev, live on the scene. He was over at the Busted Open party there. They had they did a live broadcast from I think 1 to 3, if I wasn't mistaken. So good stuff there from Kev. All right, NXT Stand and Deliver, man. Let's start it off with the kickoff show. The reforming of former friends Raquel and Dakota taking on, of course, JC Jane, Gigi Dolan of Toxic Attraction. What did you see in this kickoff show? Were you surprised that the reformed team actually won this match?
No, I didn't see a reason to do the match unless it was for the reunited team to win the match. And I thought it was a nice way to kind of kick things off on the pre-show, having a good feel good moment that created some doubt for the NXT Women's Championship match. You had to have that question is this the night that Mandy Rose is going to lose the title and drop it? And, you know, you had to have them lose here. I like the involvement of Wendy Chu coming in with the orange juice to the orange soda to
water.
the face. Yeah, it wasn't water. It was orange soda because she loves orange soda just as much as Kel Mitchell. But but yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent matchup. I thought that Dakota and Raquel working together in the end made a lot of sense, and they can finally get a women's tag team championship reign because they are the first ever NXT women's tag team champions, and now they have a reign that's longer than their first reign because their first reign only lasted 40 minutes. So now they have already surpassed that. I'm very happy for Raquel and Dakota.
Yeah, and as Isaiah Cassidy would say, that ain't water. Man, yeah, I thought it was a great opener. I thought this was going to be a foreshadowing that Mandy would lose the title. We'll get to that later. I thought that would be a foreshadowing. A lot of people on Twitter thought, oh, they're going to get the call up, which I found real interesting to me because Mandy just had gotten sent back to NXT. Obviously, what they're doing with Toxic Attraction is tremendous, and maybe it was almost too tremendous. But we'll find out later on that may not be quite the plan. But that was a great kickoff show opener. There we had Sam Roberts, we had Mackenzie Mitchell, Akbar Baja Bielmila from the Ninja Warrior series, of course, former football player. It was on the NFL Network for a little while too. So it's kind of cool to see him on that pre-show as well. We get off. We just started off right away, man. We just say hell of it. We throw the ladder match right in, don't we?
That was the match I was looking forward to the most. You can check out my article on Sportskeeda Wrestling ranking the buildups. I thought the buildup was great with the matches that they were able to deliver, and this one stood up and it delivered. Stand and deliver because all five.
See what you did there.
You know, all five guys stood out in their own ways. I mean, to me, the MVP was Santos Escobar because he had the two best spots, two of the three best spots in this matchup. His Hurricane Rana on Grayson Waller off the ladder, the sunset flip power bomb onto the ladder bridge on Solo Sequoia. That was just crazy. That was the holy crap moment of this matchup. But I think it got taken to a step further with Grayson Waller with the Hardaway, the between the legs elbow drop on the ladder bridge. He missed everything. He hit it the wrong way. Like his arm hit the ladder. That was a brutal spot, a brutal bump. I hope he's okay because that was rough to watch.
My God, that was brutal, man. I hope he didn't break his arm there because holy crap, that did not look like a good landing at all. And that ladder just was, I don't know if that was a gimmick ladder, but that ladder just shredded. And speaking of Santos, man, that flip out power bomb on Solo that Solo is going to be feeling that shot for quite some time. I thought it was well done, and you have your standard spot where you set up all the ladders and all the men are up on there, and I always love those spots. And I think in the end, Cameron Grimes with a cave in on the ladder, which that had to hurt too. Yeah. But I think the right man won. That they told that story about Cameron wanting to win a title for his late father. They told that story. It went through, and now your new North American champion can take it to the moon.
Great stuff. I mean, that was the story that they've been telling on television. It was either going to come down to Carmelo Hayes kind of coming through on what he wanted to stand on top of the ladder at the biggest weekend in NXT as the greatest North American champion, or Cameron Grimes was going to make his daddy proud. The whole story was to build sympathy for him for his quest to get championship gold, a quest that started last summer when he gave up the $1 million championship after he beat LA Knight, and he gave it up to million man because he wanted to win real championship gold in NXT. So I'm very happy that he got his moment to start off the show. It was a great way to start the show. And I thought there was good matches the rest of the night, and some were like better than others, but this was my match of the night. I can already spoil that. This was the match of the night for me.
Yeah, fully agree. You look at the clock and it's about 25 minutes after. It's like, God, you couldn't believe that match was 20 minutes. It was so good, and it just flew by. Everybody, all 5 guys involved in that did a tremendous job. So going back to Carmelo Hayes, of course, who did a tremendous job as North American champion, and yeah, him and Trick Williams, they did a good job at being general managers, commissioners. They did a good job of putting this roster together, these qualifying matches. Of course, a lot of the seconds, him and what's Waller's guy? I can't remember.
Senka the Thunder.
Senka.
They call him Senka, but he's Senka the Thunder to me. So I mean, that spot where he ripped up the ladder, that was cool. I laughed at that spot. I thought the use of the seconds with Sanka as well as Trick Williams, Legado del Fantasma, it was very reminiscent of WrestleMania 17. The match wasn't to that high quality. That's one of the greatest ladder matches of all time. This was a great ladder match, but I wouldn't put it in that upper echelon. But the use of the seconds was very reminiscent to WrestleMania 17 with TLC 2 when Rhino, Lita, Spike Dudley got involved. I love Elektra Lopez with the lucha dive to the outside. That was great. Trick Williams' facial expressions were tremendous as he tried to overcome his fear of heights and climbing the ladder. That was
a good sell. That was a good sell. Grayson Waller did tweet afterwards. So I just said viral is all he said with the retweeting NXT's official account on the replay of his insane dive, man. Maybe he's hopefully he's okay. He did tweet, so he did tweet out afterwards. So let's just hope he is okay with that. But I think you are spot on there. That was match of the night. Hard to follow that up, but I don't think there was really a dud on the card though. Next up, we got Tony D'Angelo with his Paisan coming in in a classic Ford. Great entrance there. Tommaso Ciampa, his NXT farewell. And a lot of people may be upset with it. I thought it was a good match. It wasn't like, I don't think it was on the level of a usual Ciampa takeover match, but I still think it was very good. And, people upset that D'Angelo won. Hey, you look at the lights on your way out. And so that's exactly what Ciampa did. And how about that moment at the end when the game came out, man? That was a feel good moment, wasn't it?
Probably the most emotional moment of the entire night was Tommaso Ciampa, first with his entrance with the highlight package, and you just saw like so many iconic moments in NXT history throughout his whole highlight package at the start there, then making his entrance with that music that I can't get into, but his entrance was great with the tribute to Triple H with the spitting of the water, doing the Shawn Michaels pose. And I would say this is Tony D'Angelo's best match in NXT. No, it's nowhere in Ciampa's best matches in NXT, but this was about putting over Tony D'Angelo. My only nitpick with his win, I really liked his win because it was Ciampa basically going out through his own smoking gun. This is something that he's done countless times, exposing the exposed concrete and DDTing someone on it. This is what he did to Johnny Gargano. This is what happened in the matchups with Braun Breaker, and for him to kind of be beaten by his own smoking gun, I thought it was appropriate. But I would have thought that Tony D would have done his own finisher, the forget about it, once again to get the victory. That just kicked to the face. That felt kind of lackluster. I will say that.
Yeah. Tremendous moment, of course, Triple H coming out embracing Ciampa. I thought like maybe Shawn Michaels would come out after that, and then Johnny Gargano. just as a big
Well,
surprise. That
Well,
would have been
Gargano, he's still, at home with Quill as well
Yeah.
as Candace. I like the tribute to Gargano with him
Yeah.
using the Gargano escape, and you get the Johnny wrestling champ. But Triple H, that meant more.
Ooh,
That's like his
yeah.
daddy in
It is,
professional
it is.
wrestling, and the fact that Triple H, got through his whole cardiac event. Now he's back in WWE, and you could tell how much love they have for each other and the
Yeah.
emotion in that moment. I thought it was the right thing to have Triple H
Stop.
come out. You didn't need anything else, honestly.
Stop embarrassing me, Dad. Johnny
crying, Dad.
Johnny Gargano tweeting, "We were told no together. We were signed and thrown into a makeshift tag team together. We made history together because nobody will do it for you. There wouldn't be a Johnny Wrestling without a Blackheart. This is your moment, friend. You've more than earned it." That was from Johnny Gargano after the farewell to Tommaso Ciampa. Steven Chambers in the chat. Make sure you interact with us. Talk to us. Let me talk to you. Throw some questions our way, just like this one here. What brand does Ciampa go to? Raw or SmackDown, Sid?
I'm going to say that SmackDown needs him more. SmackDown is desperately inept when it comes to baby faces. Like they have Drew McIntyre, you got the Intercontinental Champion Ricochet, but it's kind of a deep fall off from there because everybody else is in a tag team or kind of been established as mid-carders. You got someone new like Tommaso Ciampa. It would be very interesting. But then again, I did mention him yesterday on Top Story being in Edge's stable, the Grand Jury. So he's another person that he can find a role on Monday Night Raw. And Ciampa's always been best as a heel. So in a heel stable underneath Edge, getting that grooming and getting the rub from Edge, he's good either way, honestly.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The bright spot about Ciampa on the main roster, I mean, you can't really use this as a gauge, but maybe you can. He had a pretty good showing last night in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. So he wasn't completely jobbed out or anything like that. I think he had a pretty decent showing. And I'm actually happy that Madcap Moss won it because he's been having some good matches in the past month, especially with Drew McIntyre. So I thought he was deserving to win it, even though a lot of people may not see it that way just because the gimmick is kind of funny. But he has been doing some good in-ring work. But Ciampa did a pretty good job in the ring there last night.
I think the problem is the gimmick's supposed to be funny, but it's not. That's what people. No, Madcap, you're absolutely right. Madcap Ross is good in the ring. He just has a very lame gimmick.
Yeah, and he has a lot of lame jokes too. They're on the level of Jerry the King Lawler jokes is what those are. Next up is the triple threat tag team match for the titles, and they do the triple threat rules. I love all three men in the ring instead of two people in the ring. So I was glad they did it that way. This was man, I got one word for you, Sid. Cannonball.
Yes, I was legit like, this is like every fat kid that I saw at the pole in the summertime when the Roger Creed came off the top rope. That was hilarious. I was like, this is too funny. But man, that was a fun match. Like that was just nonstop action. You had the Creeds tossing guys around, using their power. You had MSK flying all over the place. Imperium being the best wrestlers involved in this match and some of the best wrestlers in this entire brand. And this was just so much mixing of styles. Like the Styles Clash made this such a fun matchup, and anyone could have won. I was rooting for the Creeds to get the victory, but MSK once again delivering as stand and deliver and winning the NXT Tag Team Championships. It was cool.
Can we have a moment of silence for the Imperium theme?
Oh no! See, man, man, Jeremy, I was trying to be very positive on this. Because legit when they made their entrance,
I'm afraid I got some bad news.
I was like, yo, okay. I heard the music and I was like, okay, maybe they just want Gunther to have that song now. But then when Gunther came out to it too, I was like, Yo, why y'all always gotta ruin a good thing? Y'all just did this with Ciampa. Like I just said, I skimmed over that, but that Ciampa music, I'm sorry, I can't get into it. I can't get jiggy with this.
It's growing on me, but it's no one will survive, because that was a banger right there.
When these guys have iconic songs that people know them by, like, you don't change it, and you don't change it on you don't change it on the biggest weekend when they're finally in front of fans outside of Orlando. It just didn't make any sense.
The crowd always would yell, "No one will survive" when that hits, and in WWE having to copyright every damn thing, it's annoying. Molly, always with us, appreciate you, Molly. Who were the attackers? Now, I didn't have an idea, but I was talking with Joel Pearl from Fightful, and he is very has a very well thinks that it's a tag team from the UK. He thinks it's the what are they called? Pretty Deadly.
I've been hearing a bunch of people, say either like Pretty Deadly. There's the tag team that there's a few tag teams out there. I mean, I haven't watched NXT UK in quite some time, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm not too familiar on all the tag teams out there. But GYV is a cool one, but they already kind of eliminated them as suspects. It has to be kind of someone new coming in, so either someone from the main roster, someone from NXT UK, either or. That kind of makes sense to me, but I'm very interested to find out, and that's why I was very uncertain when I picked the Creeds to win this match up, because they do have that storyline to go to. So it was a surprise, but not really, that MSK would get the victory. Steven, that's actually a good shout there. Gallus is a good shot, because they pretty much done everything in NXT UK, so they would fit in coming up to the main NXT.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who that is. Probably be revealed on Tuesday night, now that the Creeds have not won the tag titles. That'll probably happen this Tuesday. Yeah, I was with you. I thought the Creeds, it was their time to win, but I don't hate that MSK is two-time champions now. I don't hate that at all. They are a tremendous team. I've been watching those guys since the Rascals in Impact Wrestling. So I really like that team. Back in my old podcast, Lost in the Midcard, I went out on a limb and said they were going to win the Dusty Cup, and my podcast co-host did not. I thought I was nuts, but I saw something in them that I thought would elevate them all the way to the end, and sure enough, they were great champs. Then come back, about a year later, the pairing with Riddle, that was hilarious, and so I don't hate the fact that MSK is now the tag team champions. But man, come on. When is it time to push GYV, for crying out loud? That is a great tag team I love. And man, it's way past due that they hold some gold too.
It kind of feels too late, honestly. They've kind of put them in a certain level, but I mean, you can hold out hope if you are hoping for GYV to win the tag team titles. Now that MSK has the championship, this is a team that they feuded with a lot. That's the team that beat them in the Dusty Classic last year. That's the team that pinned them to win the NXT tag team titles at Stand and Deliver in 2021. So hopefully this leads to GYV probably being the next tag team champions. I can only hope, but I wouldn't be too sure about that.
Yeah, that or a Dusty Cup, because they're two-time runner-ups in that too. So next up, we have the Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Women's Championship. Cora Jade coming out with a bunch of skaters. Mandy Rose, that was a pretty sweet entrance with the wings. Sid has got a face palm here.
Dude, okay, I understand NXT 2.0. This is about creating gimmicks that they think is going to get people over. But if someone has a skateboarding gimmick, they should at least know how to skateboard. Yeah. She did not know how to skateboard. Literally, one of the True Hill Heat gang, drunk guy JJ, was there live, and he said literally it looked like she was going to fall off the skateboard when she rode it off on the stage. And then she literally picks up the skateboard and runs to the ring. Like, you had a ramp. It's gravity.
Darby Allin it.
like seriously, and you came at Darby Allin, you dragged him for what he's done in real life, and I respect you for it. You should drag him if those allegations are true. You should drag him for that. But I'm sorry, he dragged you for the right reason too, because you're not a real skateboarder. It's clearly obvious now. We had the reason before that. Oh, NXT doesn't have a ramp in the CWC, but you had a ramp and you didn't know how to skateboard. Let's end the gimmick. You didn't give her the coordination. It was set up for her to have this coordination and her finally win the big one. She lost. Like, move on. Let's create a new gimmick for her because she ain't a skateboarder.
Because you actually have someone on that roster that can skate in Gigi Dolan. And it is a little ridiculous. I thought Cora Jade was going to come out as a surprise winner here. I even tweeted at the start of the match. I said, well, the sad thing about Toxic Attraction getting called up is I'll miss Wade drooling all over them. Instead, we'll just get Corey Graves drooling all over them. But that did not happen. Great match, but let's go back. Did you like that Mandy entrance with the wings? I thought that was pretty damn cool with the video board.
Yeah.
I like that Wade said he borrowed his platform for her. I'm afraid I got some bad news.
Yeah, I like the superstar entrance for Mandy Rose. It was clearly obvious at the start with the entrances who were the two likely winners of this.
Yeah.
It was either going to be the upset of Cora Jade winning, who I called to win because I felt like the booking was leading to that, or it was going to be Mandy Rose with that superstar entrance that she got. Even though Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray are probably the two more talented individuals in this matchup, it just wasn't meant, or the booking wasn't there for them to get the victory here. So I was very surprised by the outcome here, and I thought that it was a really cool finish in the way they did it. I thought the ladies worked well with each other. I was just stunned by Mandy Rose taking the victory here.
Yeah, but at the same time, Cora Jade didn't get pinned. This could still continue, and Cora could be the one to take it off of Mandy down the road. Who knows? It'll be interesting, though. They don't hold all the gold now, which I don't fully agree with. I kind of wish they still would have had a little longer run with everybody holding the titles, but I think they still had a decent run with that. Cora Jade, though, looked great in this match. That destroyer on the apron was phenomenal. I loved it. All four women had great moments in the matches. Of course, Io doing crazy things that Io does. And in the end, Mandy Rose, taking advantage, ultimate opportunist. Once they're down, throw the person out and cover the defeated lady. And that's what happened here with Mandy Rose retaining. So a kind of a surprise. So, hey, hold off on that main roster talk for now. But I thought it was a really good Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah, I thought it was a good Fatal 4-Way matchup. I'm hoping that this leads to Io Shirai getting called up to the main roster. I feel like there's nothing left for her
Tag
to do.
her with Asuka.
I just want her to shine. She could shine on her own. She could shine with Asuka. It doesn't matter the situation. I think Io Shirai is someone that can be a top star on the main roster for WWE. Only suggestion I have is that, ladies, you probably should have done all your dives or towards the entranceway, because doing it by that table, like the Io Shirai moonsault off the top, I was like, she's gonna blow her knee out because she almost hit the announce table really hard there.
Yeah. Is Io going to the main roster? I mean, we basically the past 3 WrestleMania seasons have said, yeah. So now is the third time a charm, maybe. I would expect so. There hasn't been anything left for her to do for a while now. So it's long overdue. So I think gotta pull the trigger now, don't you think?
I would think so. I mean, the women's divisions, when you look at, who's going to come out of WrestleMania with the SmackDown and the Raw Women's Championship, both ladies probably need fresh contenders and fresh matchups. And Io Shirai is a person that could have a great match with Bianca Belair. She can have a great match with Ronda Rousey, even if it's not in the title picture, with your Charlotte Flairs, with your Sasha Banks. It doesn't matter. Io Shirai is the type of woman that deserves to be on the main roster as a top star.
Yeah, I figure that Bianca is going to win and maybe have Alexa Bliss or maybe a returning Asuka feud with her, and you have Ronda Rousey win on the SmackDown side. What I would do is turn Ronda heel, because the fans will boo her. So you can turn her heel and then have a returning babyface but still cocky Bayley go challenge Ronda Rousey. I think that those are the two women's matches I want to see post WrestleMania.
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting matchups that can go down. And, now that, Raquel Gonzalez, like
Right
Steve
there.
said, he
Yeah.
thinks that Raquel is ready to go to the main roster.
She is.
I don't think so. I
Don't think so.
I think she could still need a little bit more grooming. And if I was to take out of the new women's tag team champions, I would say Dakota is much more ready than Raquel. You got to realize Raquel Gonzalez is a WWE product, and they tend to keep you in the performance center in NXT for like 6-7 years, if that's the case. So
Yeah.
he's getting into that 7th year of basically being in the performance center now. So
Yeah.
I think by the time we get to SummerSlam or to the next draft, then she'll be ready to get that call up.
Probably the sign of the night was shown after the Fatal 4-Way. Sorry, Mandy, I'm taken. That was and now for the orgy portion of the evening. As we know, Index and Duja, which sounds just funny. Index won the vote there. That was some silly stuff. I thought the cowboy clothing shopping was kind of funny, but
I mean, I thought it was funny when I saw it on the pre-show. I didn't need to see it again.
Yeah,
I didn't need to see it again on this show. And then them arguing, that was so lame. I was like, this is the biggest dud. If we were doing like I do on True Hill Heat, MVP and LVP, my LVPs of the night is this is this quad. They're a quad couple because I feel like that's
what that's good. It's group love, baby. It's group love.
They're gonna be a frupple, whatever the 4 people couple is. They're gonna be having sex with each other.
They're gonna be tagging in. Get the tag rope ready.
Oh,
boy. Anyways, next up, Gunther against my boy LA Knight. Yeah. I was afraid that this was going to be a complete squash match, but man, it was competitive. I thought it was tremendous. And it's no surprise, both men, LA Knight's been a favorite of mine for many, many years, and Gunther is his ability is off the charts. And now that he's getting leaner, he could probably up that ability level even higher. I was afraid it was going to be a squash. LA Knight probably going to the main roster, probably Monday Night Raw. I was very happy, Sid, that this was a competitive and well done match.
Yeah, LA Knight's another one who I say go to SmackDown. SmackDown needs baby faces that are over. I thought his pop was really good when he came out. His theme song is just a bop. That's a bop. My friend who's from Compton, my friend who's from Compton, he's like, I want to do the Crip walk to this because that song is just great. It's great. It just gets you energized. It gets you into cheering for him. Why they got to change Gunther's song?
It's one of those bangers that you ride down Crenshaw on, right?
Absolutely, but why they gotta change Gunther's music? Like, that was the most disheartening thing that I heard throughout this entire show. Like I said, this show was decent. This show was a pretty good show, but that was one of the down parts of this show was changing Gunther's music. But I thought that this match was more competitive than I thought it would. Gunther didn't even pull out that many chops at this one. He did an overhand chop. We didn't get the signature, gunshot chop.
How the hell are you going to top that Duke Hudson one?
Yeah, we didn't get the usual gunshot chops. I mean, the chops that he gave to Ilya Dragunov in their 2 matches there are up there as well. But I like the finish with the clothesline off the top rope, then the big splash, then the power bomb that put over LA Knight with just the amount of moves that Gunther used to put him away. So I really enjoyed this match.
Yeah, I was, like I said, I was worried. I was worried that it was going to be just a kind of a flat out just squash, and I'm more than happy that it was not. If I can get, dude, I got to show you guys something here. If I can get this pulled up here, if I can get a screen share here, dude, you guys have got to see this. I just saw this on the Twitter. Right there. This is at a WWE Access. This is a little Bianca Belair coming down. If we could get the video to work here. Oh, come on, video. Stupid video. All right, I can't get the video to work, but maybe we can just get her on the screen there or something. Come on, Twitter. Jeez, anybody know the Twitter hotline here? But anyway,
Twitter
jeez.
hotline live on air, people.
My God, this doesn't. Maybe it's just Google Chrome or whatever I'm using. Just crap is crap. But man, go check out this IMSO. I'm so hive __ a little mini Bianca Belair. That was that was cute. That was cute as hell. So go check that out on the Twitter there. Yeah, and then I'm gonna go yell at Google because their browser sucks
Like,
half the time.
damn you, Google. Damn you to hell.
Yeah, if I can get it pulled up on Edge, maybe I'll get it replayed here for you. But in the meantime, we'll move on. Next up here, surprisingly enough, next up was the main event. All of a sudden, boom, here we are, main event time. I said this at the beginning of the match. I said that that chainsaw that Braun Breaker had looked like it was from Fortnite.
I was like, why does he have these like over the top entrances? Like, I like the one where he crashed into the old NXT logo. I like the one where he had the chains, but this is where it got like lame for me. I was just like, what? Why is he like putting the chainsaw through the new NXT logo?
Are we going to NXT 3? Are we going to 3.0 now?
And they gave him confetti. And he didn't win. What? This was like Lex Luger at SummerSlam 1993. I was like, what the hell is going? Why are y'all giving? Y'all better give him. He better win. Y'all gave him confetti at the start of the match. He better win, and then he didn't. What are we doing? What are we doing here, ladies and gentlemen? Because literally this match started within like 5 minutes. Robert Roode gets thrown out. Then Robert Roode comes back in. I'm like, when the referee throws a person out and they come back, there should be an automatic disqualification or something. Like, where's the other referees to tell him to go to the back? Like, I was just so confused with these guys. I think did well. They got through a little bit of a botch at the start when I believe Braun couldn't pick him up on like a sunset flip. But that's kind of the trend of these big time Braun Breaker matches. He has at least one noticeable botch, but it's always usually good. And I thought this match was really good up until that finish. It was just like, this is the guy that WWE should look at and be like, he has the it factor, he has this aura, he has the look, he has the size, he has the strength, and he has the pedigree, the legacy of the Steiner brothers. It's Steiner Brother Weekend with them getting honored in the Hall of Fame, and he loses like that.
How did they not bring the Steiners out when Roode came back?
Thank you. I was like, this is the easiest spot to book. Is you have one of the Steiners or both of the Steiners come out and just get rid of him. Or no, they did none of that.
All right, I think I've got it working now. I switched to a different browser. Mini Bianca. Look at that. How adorable is that?
That's nice. I like that.
She even got the entrance and everything. I love that. That was cool. Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, you're right. Kick him out. I don't want to see the main event of a big show like this end in disqualification. But where are Rick and Scott? Right there. Where are they?
Why doesn't Braun Breaker have friends? That's like, he has no friends in this world. Ciampa was just like, you know what? That was my final NXT match. I'll see you, kid. I'm not gonna help you this time.
Well, it was that Braun's final NXT match, is Michael in the chat saying. Is this loss meaning he's getting called up as soon as maybe Monday?
I think so, and he's another one. I'm telling you, I've already put Ciampa LA Knight and Braun Breaker. I'll put them all on SmackDown. That SmackDown actually has a brand. I feel like the draft really depleted SmackDown. Even the additions that they did get, like Hit Row, they got fired almost immediately. And like, so
Lame.
they don't have any baby faces on this damn show. They had Jeff Hardy for a bit, but Jeff Hardy decided to leave. Like, they don't have baby faces on this show. So give me Braun Breaker on SmackDown. Give me LA Knight on SmackDown. Give me Tommaso Ciampa on SmackDown. If you want to put Ciampa in the Edge group on Raw, the grand jury, that's totally fine. Put him there. But give me LA Knight. Give me Braun Breaker. You groom Braun Breaker to have a Brock Lesnar type of run. And he's the guy that takes the title off of Roman Reigns. You're building up Roman Reigns, not for Roman Reigns to be champion for 1,000 days. You're building up Roman Reigns so the guy that beats him becomes a big star. And I think that guy is Braun Breaker. I just don't understand why he had to lose this way.
Yeah, I don't know either. I thought the finishing sequence was really cool though, with the turnbuckle and everything and the super kick. I thought it was a really good finishing sequence though. I thought that was a tremendous end. It was a good match. Wasn't perfect, obviously, but Ziggler kind of helped correct things just because he's a damn professional. I thought it was a good match. Probably though, God, do we dare say that was the least the worst match of the night though? I mean, it wasn't bad, but do you put it above any of the other 6 matches?
I would put it above Ciampa and Tony D. That's probably the only one. And I think it was probably on the same level as the women's 4-way. So I can see if people say that was better, but the tag team title match was better. It was better than the kickoff because there wasn't a lot of fans in attendance for the kickoff. So it didn't have the crowd participation that the main event did. So yeah, I would say it's kind of middle of the road for this show. I think Gunther versus LA Knight was better. I think the tag titles was better. I think of course the opener, the ladder match was fantastic. I thought that was the best match on the show, and it may, by the time we get to Sunday night, maybe the best match that WWE had to offer this weekend. But I said it last night on Smack Talk, and I'll say it here. I don't think anything's beating FTR versus the Briscoes.
No, God,
I don't think anything's beating that. So once again, I know I said this last night when I was supposed to be reviewing SmackDown and Rampage. I spent like 30 minutes talking to Dutch about Samoa Joe being all elite and showing up, and told him about the 5-star classic with FTR and the Briscoes. I don't think there's anything that's gonna beat the Briscoes and FTR for this entire weekend, honestly.
And props to the Briscoes for then showing up a couple hours later for Impact's multiverse of matches to take on the Good Brothers.
Between the Briscoes, Jon Moxley, and Minoru Suzuki, like y'all guys like need
Ty Valkyrie.
You need to take a whole month break after this weekend because they like Moxley had 2 back-to-back matches that I loved this weekend. Like number 2 on my list of the best matches I saw this weekend was Moxley versus Biff Busick from Bloodsport 8. If you didn't see that, that's like, it's not for the weak of heart. If you don't like blood, don't watch it. My wife watched it with me this morning and she was like, I don't understand why you like this stuff. And I think that if you like this stuff, there's something wrong with you. And I was like,
well, there is something wrong with me.
I mean, I'm a wrestling fan, so
give us your rating in the chat from 1 to 10. What would you rate NXT Stand and Deliver? Sid and I will give our ratings here in just a little bit after we get things wrapped up. I would also give props to Taya Valkyrie. I mean, she had that entertaining Dirty Dishes match, and then went into a death match with Pero later on the next day, and continuing to do a lot of great work as well. And then showing up after getting all bloody against Pero, get all prettied up, dressed up, and then stare down Deonna Purrazzo, making her return to Impact Wrestling. I thought that was badass. So give us your 1 to 10 ranking of NXT Stand and Deliver. Don't forget, later tonight, myself and Kev Kellum and Jose, they will be both live from Cowboy Stadium. We will give you our night 1 post show for WrestleMania right after that show gets off the air around 10 o'clock Central. So make sure to tune in for that. And then we will be back another 24 hours later for the night 2 post show as well. Hey, I'm going to be making a cameo on True Heel Heat on Monday. I'm going to be on the watch along for the Raw After Mania. So make sure you check that out. Check out my socials, JB Huskers. I will get that shared out once I get more information, but I will be on True Heel Heat this Monday. Sid, what do you got going on, man?
Well, I'm gonna be up a lot. I'm gonna be doing a lot tomorrow. We'll be going live on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel for our WrestleMania 38 Night 1 Roundtable review. We got Nate Milton and Andrew Thompson of Post Wrestling's NWA podcast. We got Fightful's a #1 headline producer, the headline GOAT himself, Jeremy Lambert of the Spotlight. He's gonna be joining us on that roundtable review, and we're gonna be breaking down the card from WrestleMania 38. So we hope everyone has a good time tonight. We hope everyone joins the post show with Jeremy, Kev, and Jose at AT&T Stadium. Hope you enjoy the post show for night 2. Well, True Hill Heat. We got watch alongs tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We got special guests Keemstar and Kid Behind the Camera. So we got some social media stars joining us on WrestleMania Night 1. They're here to see Logan Paul make him his social media icon himself, joining the WrestleMania ring. So we got a little mix of that over on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. So subscribe over there, and the Believe in Pro Wrestling podcast YouTube channel. We're gonna have some coverage of WrestleMania throughout the weekend. So stay tuned. We gotta update you on everything that's going on, and check out the interviews from Rick Ucchino with Becky Lynch, AJ Styles, Rhea Ripley, Los Lotharios. It's so much content going on throughout all these different platforms. So I'm very happy that I was able to join Jeremy, talk to you guys about NXT Stand and Deliver, which I thought was a really decent show. And I would go 7 out of 10 for NXT Stand and Deliver. I think that they were right at the finish line of being an 8, maybe even an 8.5 show, and they kind of fumbled it at the 1 yard line with that finish to that match, in my opinion. So that's why I give it a 7 out of 10.
A lot of 8s and a lot of 8s in the chat, 8.5 and 9. I will. I'm pretty close to Sid. I'm just gonna give it a 7.5 myself. The main event was good, but not a takeover level match. I thought the ladder match was a takeover worthy. I thought the women's fatal 4-way was takeover worthy. I thought Gunther and LA Knight, I thought they were takeover worthy. But then a couple of matches weren't. But we had a takeover worthy moment with Ciampa and Triple H for sure. But in terms of the show itself, I will give it about a 7.5. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you come back to us tonight after WrestleMania Night 1. And there is always when it comes to pro wrestling, we got 2 words for you. And what are those 2 words?
Enjoy wrestling.
Yeah.
Watch out.